Welcome back to Angel Angela. And as you guys can see from the title, we are going to be talking about the narcissist, and we're going to be discussing leaving children with narcissistic parents. So, when leaving your children with narcissistic parents, whether this be your own parents, whether this is, the parents of your narcissistic partner, after leaving the relationship, after going through a divorce or, just simply just getting out of the relationship and you have children with these people. These people are dangerous people, and they all have their different stories, their different behaviors. But one thing that we all can agree with is they have a stalker mentality and they're very aggressive. They're easy to anger. They don't have regard towards humanity, which means they don't have any empathy. And they don't feel bad about their actions no matter how malicious they are, meaning that this person can kill you. This person is a rapist. This person is a child molester. This person has something, a certain fetish, kink that they have made a reality, something that they have been thinking. And once they thought about it long enough, they started doing it. And once you start doing something, you become it and you become addicted to doing it. And when someone tells you, hey, you're a child molester, you're dating someone who's 14 years old and you're almost 30. When you think about those things, we don't put the pieces together, and it's very important to understand that when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, chances are they have flying monkeys. Chances are those flying monkeys, some of them might be narcissists. This person became narcissistic because of these people around them. If there was some type of neglect, that's how the narcissist became hurt. That's how they became who they became now. That's how they started to develop not having empathy, because nobody, around them empathized towards them. So they feel as if they don't owe anyone anything because they have went through situations, and in their mind, their situations are, were more impactful than yours. And even if they know that we all have feelings, they don't care. It's about their feelings because it's their world. They don't care. They don't care about unity. So when these narcissistic parents or people, maybe that those parents didn't do anything to them. Maybe someone they brought around that their parents knew, did something to them. We don't know these people's stories, and if we do, we understand that if their parents were narcissistic, and then when the relationship is over, if you are taking your children to these narcissist parents' house, because we all know that some narcissists, when it's their turn to have the children, they don't even want the children. They leave. They're with another supply. They're still living the same lifestyle. They don't want to change. They want to be, they want to love bomb the child. So they might spend time with them, but then they leave. They might buy them something, but then they leave. It's, their way to love is materialistic things, or, just doing something so that the kid can go back home and say and tell you what they did, especially if they have a new supply. Everything is about keeping contact with you. But if there was negligence in their life that made them this way, What do you think is going to happen to your child if you are leaving your child around a narcissist parent? A narcissist parent's parent. So, when leaving your kids with narcissistic family members, you have to be very careful, especially if you have narcissist parents or, you have people around your family who are narcissistic that might go over there and visit them. Once these narcissistic people know that you're leaving your children with your mother or with people around you that they know, you know what these narcissists are going to do? They are going to come to your family member's house because they know your kids are there, and they're going to talk bad about you in front of your own kids. So when you leave your kids with narcissist family members or people who are they're not narcissistic, but they talk to other family members that you know are narcissistic, even if you do not have a problem with your narcissist family member, even if you don't have a problem with them, if you know that they are a narcissist and they are coming to your family member's house, and you know that your family member is not a narcissist, but you know that this family member is, they've never done anything to you because it's family, right? You cannot trust your children. You cannot trust your children around these people. You cannot trust your children around these people. I've been around narcissists long enough to tell you, a lot of these narcissists do not change. They get older, and the older that they get, the worse they get, right? But when we look at an elderly person, someone who has gray hair, someone who looks really old and is barely able to walk, we do not think about a pervert. We think about an elderly person, and we even want to help them. Also, you guys, when older people get around your kids, anyone gets around your kids, always be careful. Not everyone is friendly getting close to your kids because they love kids. There's some narcissists that hate kids, but when they get around your kids, they love children. Your kid is so cute. They're so precious. They're an angel. They're so tender. I can just eat them up. Yeah, they can definitely eat them up, Hansel and Gretel, okay? I've been disrespected, you guys, by old men. It's been times where I'm walking and old men will start blowing the horn. There's situations where I had a situation where I was catching the subway because I live in the city and I wanted to get to work quicker, so I would take the subway. And this dude just sat next to me, an old man. He was maybe in his late 80s, gray hair, old, barely walking, barely breathing. And he literally, started telling me how pretty I am. And I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm just like, it's an old man. He's probably thinking of his youth. He's thinking about when he was younger. Let me tell you guys, this man grabbed my butt. When I was getting out, he grabbed my butt. And I realized that sometimes we think that these people disappear or something. They just die. Not all narcissists die at a young age. Some of them are these older people you think are your grandfathers and things like that. And they're waiting for you to leave your kids because they're not able to go and have sex with different girls. The simple fact that when you think about an old man pinching your butt, and just the situation I went through, it's a disrespectful situation. I don't think there's anything cute about it. And you have to think about it. These narcissists, they aren't able to get the type of supply they used to get. And when they try the same game they tried playing many times before, it does not work anymore. They're looked at as perverts. So now they have to pay for having sexual acts. Now they've been in situations where they don't want to go to jail because of those sexual acts because they're perverts. And because they don't want to go to jail, they sit at home and they think to themselves, let me get my daughter, let me get my son to come visit me. And I want to have a better relationship with them. And I want them to bring the grandkids now. These people do not like children. They do not like children in the way that we like children. So when you have narcissistic family members, you have to be very careful and stop thinking it's a game. Stop thinking it's a game, because the trauma that you went through, you will put your kids through. So when people tell me, I don't want to pay for daycare because I'm doing it alone, it's better to put your kids through daycare than leaving them with narcissistic family members or strangers, because at least there's cameras and I'm able to know what's going on. So you have to be careful and make sure that you're not so trusting of people, because people that say they love children, some of them really don't. They actually are after children. It's almost like going to grandma's house and, you're like Hansel and Gretel walking through the woods, and you get there and she fattens you up, especially if you're a little chubby kid. If you're a little chubby kid and you have a narcissist grandma, she's going to be abusing you and saying things to disrespect you, because I've seen it before. These narcissists don't change. Women and men, when they get old, they get worse. And because they're old, you want to have sympathy for them. Sympathize for them. But don't trust your kids around them, man. Come on now. Let's think about our kids. Think about the future. The empathy that's lacking, because I've seen old men do things and they do not change. And when they get old like that, they're freaking pissed off. And they take it out on the grandkids. And then you wonder why the cycle continues. Because you think that your parent, your cousins, your uncle, close family, friends are the people that aren't going to do anything. But those are the closest people to you, are the ones that you should be watching. Don't be so trusting. Love yourselves, love your children, because that connection with your children that you have, it will start to alter. That bond will start to alter because you've been around the narcissist too long. You've kept toxic people around your kids too long, and it's like a disease. It spreads. These narcissists, you guys, can't be trusted. Just because these people seem like they're happy, they're getting married, they're having kids, they're finally engaged, or they quickly got engaged, and everyone is engaging, and all these things, do not be fooled, you guys. That is the playground for narcissistic behavior. So you guys should be, sometimes it's best to be alone and be in the small group than be in the large group, because you better believe that in the big group, there's a lot of narcissists around. So it's better to be alone in the small group. And yes, they're going to crucify you just the way they crucified Jesus, but they're going to crucify you for speaking the truth. So live in your truth, you guys. A lot of times, you guys, we hear the words, the New World Order and things like that. And in actuality is that the New World Order has been going on for a long time. We are able to see what type of people these narcissists are now. We're able to see the signs. We're able to actually not just see the signs, but pay attention to them. And not just pay attention to them, but actually have faith in ourselves and our intuition to know, like, I can't be manipulated. You don't think that Jesus knew Judas was going to betray him? I mean, he was showing all the characteristics. He was looking at him in the eyes, even when he told everyone someone's going to betray me. We become, that sacrifice in order for others to see, all the flying monkeys to see that person for who they are. But by the time they have eyes to see, they've already been conned, but by the time they have eyes to see, they will realize that they basically sacrificed you. They basically sacrificed you. So don't listen to these people when they're trying to lecture you, or they're trying to make it seem, these flying monkeys are trying to make it seem as if you're trying to separate your kid from the narcissist or things like that. You know when someone is a narcissist, and you know when someone is not a narcissist. You have to protect your kid, because if something happens, what are they going to do? Oh, I didn't know he was that crazy. I didn't know she was that crazy. That's what happens. If you pay attention to a lot of the younger generation, some of them, not everyone, but some of them are actually being acknowledgeable to what's going on around them, and they're kids, they're young, they're 10, 12, 14 years old that already know what the world is about. They're waiting on you, and the New World Order is us protecting our children, because these narcissists are dangerous. And with technology, we have found ways to, maybe put a tracker on the phone or different type of gadgets to know where our kids are and what's happening and things like that. Well, with so much power and so much technology, you guys, there's also a lot of technology for predators. So we have to make sure that the time being spent with the narcissist parent, the other parent, or the family members, that it's very important for you guys to understand that these narcissists really do not care about you. They do not care about the children. So if they go over there and something happens to them, or they get sexually molested, these narcissistic people are going to say it never happened. Even if they know it did happen, they're going to say it didn't happen, because that's how these people work. They do not care about anyone. So you have to be careful with your children. And because there is this New World Order, we know that now. We know that now. So when you guys see people on the internet and people posting pictures and it looks like they're happy, always remember, it didn't take, nothing but a couple of seconds to take that picture. I look at pictures in my past, and I look at that picture, at different pictures, and I'm like, wow, I'm not that person in that moment. And I can't believe all the stuff I was going through in that moment and I wasn't paying attention to, So we have to realize that a picture doesn't mean anything. It means 1,000 words, of course. It means a lot of words, but were you there? Were you there? That's what I want to ask. Were you there? So when you see people posting pictures looking happy, and you know someone, and then they went through a bad relationship and you were there for them, and then when you're going through it, they don't want to be there for you, and they're moving on with their life and they're getting married and they seem like they're happy, and on top of that they're shitting on you. Don't ever think that these people are happy, you guys. Sometimes those women or those people that have did that to you, they mess you over, and you're thinking to yourself, not only did I have narcissist men around me, I had narcissistic women. You're thinking to yourself, why did I, go through that? But guess what happens? These people sometimes move on so quickly to the next person, to the next person. They're always in different relationships. They're allowing different people around their kids. If the narcissist doesn't care about their own kids, imagine what they'll do to your kids if they're not their children. If they're abusive towards you, what do you think they'll do to your children? Love bomb them, buy them nice things. So when they finally do something, and when the kid finally grows up and they realize they've been played, you know how you got played? Once the kid grows up and realize they got played and they were getting love bombed, and they tell you, guess what they do? You don't know how to feel about it because you don't know what to do. And you're thinking to yourself, I didn't think this person was going to do that. And then you're thinking, oh my God, I can't believe this person did something to my kid. And then guess what your kid does? They hate you because they were mad that you didn't see the signs, the red flags. And the kid starts thinking that you were the enabler, that you were their flying monkey. So you guys as women have to be careful with your kids, who you have kids with. These people do not care about their children. If they're willing to do, some people say these, some men do for their kids. They just don't want to be in the relationship with you. That's something else, you guys. When there's an understanding and it's different, but when you're dealing with a narcissist. That's different. And if some of those people do not believe you, don't care about what they say about you. Do not care if they say that you're the bad person. You guys know how wicked they are. And those people aren't living your life. They're not living in your shoes. Those are not their children. Do not allow other people to parent your children. That's dangerous. You're the protector, you guys. Those children came out of you. And because the cycle continues, that means that the women have to also step it up. Be careful who you have kids with, because then you wonder, why are the kids like this? Or why does my kid have disabilities? Because you were having a rough pregnancy. Because the narcissist wasn't there. Because the narcissist was blaming you. Because the narcissist wasn't ready. Because the narcissist has other kids. Because the narcissist right now, is not financially stable. Because the narcissist says it's not the right time. They want a bigger ring. These people are con artists. They're full of excuses. And, they are not happy people. So take really good care of your children. Men who also, are full-time parents. There's the men. The woman went crazy. They drove her nuts. She's doing the same thing they're doing. And it's a disease. It's a virus. And guess what? You guys have to remain strong, and you guys have to protect your children, And now that we have technology, you guys, these narcissists are mad. Some of them are starving right now. Right now, a lot of them are starving. A lot of narcissists are starving right now. A lot of things are going bad for them. A lot of their karma is catching up on them because this technology has them shook. So I hope that this message helps you guys, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.